Hey guys, what is up? Big Reviews here, back again with another movie review. And it is 3:47 a.m. right now. And in order for me to do a video, or even have like enough motivation to do a video this late, let alone with my current upload schedule like ever, the movie I had to have seen had to have made an impact and hit me personal. And that movie is Soul. Soul is from Pixar, and Pixar is one of the only companies that can just like grab me in an emotional way. Up is my favorite animated movie of all time, hands down, besides Into the Spider-Verse. And if you're seeing a pattern here, it's any animated movie that can make me feel emotion, and there's a lot of animated movies that have made me feel more emotion than in real life movies. Soul is one of them. It stars Jamie Foxx and I forgot who else, but this movie really, they call it a comedy, but really this is more made for adults. This movie has made me reflect on who I am, what has gone down to get me to where I am in my life, and how much of an opportunity we have of being on this. This gonna be like a very deep video. So if you don't like talking about that stuff, go ahead and switch off of it. But I don't get to talk about this stuff that much. I'm just going off my head, by the way. I don't have a script or anything. Like I usually don't, anyways. Bigger Reviews, good YouTuber. But yeah, this movie has just made me think about like, when you sit down, you start thinking like, man, I'm on this floating rock, moving through space at who knows how fast, and I only have 80, 90, my size maybe 70, years here, and it just gets to me because it's like, what's our purpose? I mean, I deliver pizza for Domino's. I don't think I was put on here to do that, and it just makes you start thinking of like, what's your potential, what's your spark, as they say. Now I'm gonna be talking about spoilers in this movie, so I'll just quickly, this could be like a review slash like introspective on me, so this might be like a therapy video for me, but it is 4 a.m. in the morning, so I'm not trying to wake my mom up, but yeah, basically the non-spoiler stuff I can talk about. The animation looks great, the soundtrack is amazing, the emotion, I mean, like, I expected to get sad, but I didn't expect to tear up. Like I don't know. I was bawling at like 3 a.m. in the morning when I just finished this movie. It just hit me. It just really hit me. It's just really hard to talk about this movie without spoilers. But so I'll bring up some spoilers. I don't know what parts I'm going to spoil because as I just rant, I'll relate it to the movie. So it's all about this guy who, like, his passion's music, or as you think. He's this jazz player. He's a teacher for music. And basically he finally gets his shot to be with like the best jazz person in the New York area, and he ends up falling into like a sewer thing, and he dies. And basically that's the whole plot. So like he dies, and now they show the afterlife so good, because like no matter what religion or whatever, I think it's just cool how they can like have you interpret what happens afterwards, for anyone, no matter what your religion is. I'm Catholic. My best friend who's Buddhist could watch this movie and still have the same impact, because they're not focusing on heaven, hell. They're focusing on you transversing over into that next part. I think they inspired from, I don't know if you've ever heard about this, how people who die, apparently they have their life flash before, like, so you get like a whole rewind of your whole life, which I hope is true, because that'll be so cool, and that'll make me, I'm a person who's afraid of death. Anything that happens to me, like I have this thing in my eye right now, and it's like it's like a sinus thing. I gotta go get to the eye doctor. I immediately think it's a tumor, because I Google it. I'm nervous. I'm nervous of having the worst of the worst. I'm nervous of having cancer. I'm nervous of dying, and and I know that's not it, but I still get nervous about it. And even if it was it, I should just not let it ruin me. Like, I should just let myself, live my life. My dad, he had it, and my grandpa had it. My grandpa had cancer. He didn't want to do anything. Like he didn't want to do anything like hospital related. He's like, just send me home with my wife, and I'm gonna live my life. And that's how I want to be. I want to be that strong. I don't want to have. I'm acting like I have it, but you know what I mean. Like any of those like sicknesses or anything. I don't want it to. I want to be the person to dictate how I go out and how I live my life. I could die tomorrow, and there's still so many things I want to do. That's the thing. But then you also have to be content with what you've done so far. And sometimes, like me, I feel like I haven't accomplished as much as a lot of people. I am only 20, almost 21. But, you know, if I were to die today, that's how you think about the good things. Like, I have a great set of friends, great set of family, and, you know, I'm blessed. And you just gotta look at, that's what this movie's message is look at the smaller things. So basically, they have this girl named 22 who's been trying to, like, so, like, all these kids, you know, they have to get their little card for Earth, and it tells, like, your spark. And the whole movie leads you to believe that your spark is what is the final piece of the puzzle for you to become a kid, and that's, like, what you're into. So, like, for me, movies, that would be my final spark. I'm off into the world. But by the end of the movie, you find out that that's not actually true. The spark is just so you know you. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, your life is your life. And so, like, Joey, that's how this movie hit close. His dad died. His name's Joey, and he has a loving mother who he sometimes fights with. That would just hit me. He doesn't know what to do. That's 4. That just hit me straight off. But see, like, Joey, he thinks his spark's music. He finds out by the end, like, he loves giving other people sparks. He by the end of the movie, he gives 22 her spark. So basically, if you don't know, 22, they end up falling back down to Earth. 22 gets inside his body on accident, and then he becomes the cat. And she just finds the little, and while he's so focused on getting to this concert, you know, she's finding little things like what the taste of a pizza is, a lollipop, talking to people, you know, those little leaves that come down from a tree, everything. And she's just like, wow, and that's finally her spark. Like, she just wants to live. And so he ends up somehow he goes back, he plays the concert, and, you know, he's just sitting there, he's like, I thought I'd feel different, you know. And, like, that's the exact message. It's like, sometimes the thing you're searching for might not be the thing that you actually want. You feel like you need that to fulfill yourself. I'm rambling. There's no script, I swear. This is just some deep crap that I never really get to talk to. But man, this movie left me sitting in my seat for, like, you know, 20 minutes on my bed. 20 minutes just thinking. Like, we thought WALL-E was intense. You know, when WALL-E was talking about, like, you know, if humans don't step it up, we're gonna become, you know, fat people floating in space. This movie is just something that does actually happen to anyone. Anyone in their life, I don't care how successful you are, they always have something they've wanted to do and they didn't, and they just never think their life's complete. This movie almost made me feel closure, because I'm not the type of person to get, like, super sad, and if I do, I don't show it, because I'm known as, like, the class clown, or, you know, something like that, where, like, you're not expected to talk like that, because you're known as, like, the funny, you know, guy who doesn't really get sad and who's there for other people. But this movie really, you know, had some not like closure for me, but made me feel accepting, you know. And, like, they at the first, they make you, like, feel like the great beyond is different. Like, when he first gets there, he meets, like, this 107-year-old lady, you know, who's going to the great beyond. She's like, I prepared like, she's at peace with it. And that's what the movie is trying to tell you, is, like, you know, live your life to the best, and when it happens, be at peace of what you've done on this earth, and be at peace to go into the great beyond. And they try to paint it scary, but it's almost not. Like, it's like, you don't know they never show what's past that white void, which is great. I'm so glad they didn't do that. It's like when in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, when he goes on the alien ship and you don't see the alien ship. I'm not talking about the director's cut, because no one cares about that. Like, you don't see, like, I love those movies that make you think of your imagination. So there's so many thoughts going on in my head. It's like, you know, I'm 20, I'm almost at the prime of my life, you know. There's some big, you know, changes I gotta think of when it's coming up. And future Joey, if you're listening to this, how did I turn out? Hopefully good. Hopefully in a Star Wars movie. But it's you know, there's so many things. My passion, you know, like, I always have other people telling me what my passion is. I like talking about movies. They think I should go into the movie industry. I've never been, you know, and then they start making you think like that. And you got to be the one to think about what you want to do. And, like, someone who, like, this movie hits me, and I think a lot of people my age, because, like, you're on the cusp of being an adult, you know. You might have a year or two, but it's like, you have so many things you got to decide. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I go and I see all my friends picking all these things, you know. They're smart-ass people. My friend Logan, he's going to be a mechanical engineer. You know, like, oh, there's these smart-ass, brilliant people who are, like, know what they want to do. And I'm sitting here, like, I don't know what I want to do. I look at the list, like, nothing interests me. Like, I tell people movies just because that's, like, the easiest choice. Like, oh, Joey posts Star Wars on his fucking YouTube, or on his Snapchat or TikTok. You know, and that's just like that's not it. Like, just because that's a perfect message. Like, this guy loves music and he thinks that's his passion, but it's not. My passion is still out there, and my 20-year-old self has yet to find that passion. And when it does, it'll click. It's gonna click. Like, finally at the end of the movie. So we're gonna compare it to the two Joeys, me and the Joey from the movie. Me, I like movies. Him, he likes music. We both think these are our sparks, right? At the end of the movie, Joey, number 2, the movie Joey, finds out his passion's actually putting sparks into other people, like teaching his kids music and all that in school. Mine, we don't know yet, but that's okay. The movie also teaches you it's okay, because in time you will learn. You can't rush these things. I mean, you do have only like 80 years on this earth, but you know what I mean. They're not talking about 60 years, but take a couple years and figure it out. My whole, maybe I don't think I want to go into movies personally. I think it's cool making them, but I just don't think I have what it takes to get to that point, because there's so much more stuff that goes behind the scenes that people don't know. I think it's so easy because I'm ignorant to like the whole film thing. Yeah, I watch documentaries on making film, but they don't show you all the nasty behind the scenes stuff because that's not fun and that makes them look bad, But all in all, this movie just really makes you think. Even if you don't like Pixar for some reason, if you're one of the 3 people, I implore you to go watch it. Pixar stuff aside, it's like kid movie aside, it's like this movie's gonna make you think. It's gonna have you have closure on a lot of things. It's gonna make you feel more, at ease and at peace with some things in your life. And then it's also gonna make you, take advantage of stuff that you haven't been. Like, my mom had me at an older age. She's 63 right now, and every day I think about how I need to take the time now, because I know even because then when she goes, I don't even want to talk about it, but when she goes, I know I'm going to be, I should have hung with her that day when she asked me to. I should have got out of my room. I should have got off my Xbox for an hour and go and hung with her. It's just that movie, the movie makes you think about those things, and even like smaller things like, whatever. The movie's just going to make you think, and it almost is going to make me look on life as a different way and make me do things in life that I normally wouldn't have because I didn't have that perspective. And this movie's different because you always have teachers telling you this stuff. You always have, even therapists told me this, when I went to therapy when I was younger. And they can tell you that, but when you see this visual representation of just a normal guy who has a passion for music, ends up almost dying, and he has this whole life thing, and it's just so much easier to comprehend this way. We all have our different ways of learning, but this is my way. Maybe it's not your way, but I still would say give it a shot. Worst comes to worst, maybe you still have some things to figure out, and that's okay, like the movie says. I'm gonna give Soul like a 9.5 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, honestly. I know I rarely rate movies low, but for Pixar, man, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I'm saying it right now. I don't see some things wrong with this movie at all. I mean, everything's good. The message is good. The voice acting is good. The animation's good. The soundtrack's good. Everything's good in this movie. I mean, this is up there with my top 3 Pixar films. Now, Up is still is my number 1, or WALL-E. It's always flipped between those two. But I think Soul's gonna hit number 2. I do think I like this movie a little bit more than WALL-E. So I think right now it goes Up, Soul, WALL-E, and maybe over time it might beat WALL-E or Up. There's just this movie's gonna marinate. I'll see it maybe a couple more times, but if you guys have seen it, let me know what you guys think down below. If this had like the same effect on you. I don't know. This movie just really hit me, and this is the first time a movie, after I've seen it at 4 a.m. for the first time, has made me want to go make a video and edit at 4 a.m. after I closed the night before. So it did hit me, and I hope it does hit you, and I hope it makes you think about life, because life is precious. We're so hung up, especially with, I'm not gonna sound like a boomer, but we're on our phone. I have a phone addiction. Everyone does. We're all on our phones, Xbox, and we're just seeing all this negativity. All like the media and all that, and it just sucks to see this stuff happening still, because then it's like we're only on this earth for a certain amount of time. You would think we'd have world peace, but we don't, and it just sucks that and then it just fills you with, just warps your mind. It's made me. I personally feel like news, especially, or social media in the past 2 years, has just made me more of a negative person. I look on everything more of like a negative output and try to beat the system. But now it's like, I need to get out of that and just find my soul, find my purpose, and just live life to the best. And there'll be some downs, but It's just that's the reason we like Infinity War a lot. I know it doesn't. It sounds like it's come out of nowhere, but like movies that make the characters lose, like Infinity War, make the outcome like Endgame so much better because they've earned it and they've like redeemed themselves. I was in a low spot. Now I'm coming out into the high spot. If I just went from high to higher, that'd be okay. But if I'm going from low all the way to high, that's just so much of a leap and so much of a like yes, like that feeling. But yeah, man, Soul is a 10 out of 10. Go watch it. Let me know what you guys think down below. And any of my friends who are watching, or even if I don't know you, if you ever, I love talking to people, and I like making sure people are okay, just like Joey in the movie. And I like just having someone to talk to about things like this. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. So maybe some Star Wars videos in the future. Have some plans. Mandalorian review is coming out soon. I'm waiting on Logan, who did the first one with me, because it was Christmas. We're getting busy, but I'll make sure to do that with him. Yeah, love you guys. Go watch the movie. Bye-bye.